What's going on, everybody? So, I wanted to hop on this morning and just kind of talk about some things that happened here this morning, and it's gonna kind of get deep, maybe triggering as well. So just be aware. Uh, got a perp right now following me around. This black man here, and the black guy that was jumping over the wall over here at this location this morning. He is a location perp and possibly a rapist, one of my rapist attackers. And I say that because, well, I'll just put it this way. I don't say those type of things loosely. You know, I'm very meticulous and very careful about seeing someone and describing them as such. I don't just throw those things around. I'm pretty comfortable with making those type of statements because of the things that I experience and the things that I go through where those people are involved. When I first started encountering him, he was acting like he was homeless, and then I saw him one day. This is months and months and months after I first started noticing him following me around and watching me and shit, going and getting in his truck, his very high dollar truck. And that's what most of these people do when they're perping you. They send these people out to try to act like they're homeless, and that's the reason why they're in the same vicinities as you, and that's the reason why they're sitting over in your face and, you know, coming over trying to squeeze you out of certain locations that they don't want you to be in because it's safe. Oh, you know, I'm sitting over here too. I'm homeless, and, you know, shit like that. But so this morning the manager comes out and she starts talking to me in this very hospital corners nurse telling me that she talked to her boss and about a conversation that we had. Like I said, I did go to them and I told them what I was going through and what I was dealing with. And I did that because I knew that the narrative was going to be spread and I wanted to be in control of it. I wanted to tell the truth. I didn't want any lies to be spread, which is what they have a tendency to do. And so I went ahead and I told them what was going on, her in particular. And like I said, after that, their attitudes changed and they were being very weird. She was being very weird. Which, like I said, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. But so she comes out this morning and tells me that she talked to her boss and these people kill me how they just move around all feel like they're in the Matrix, and then they get surprised and the bus leaves them like, what were you doing over there jerking off? I don't mean to laugh, but like, really, dude? Now, here's the dude that was over here watching me while I cross the street. Look at him. He don't know where he's going today. He's just lost. Lost in Arizona. It's all over the fucking place. Why? Because he's watching my ass. He's trying to figure out where is she going so I can go there too. Look at him. Now, didn't he just walk over that way? First, he walked over here and walked over here in this little parking lot and seen that I was crossing the street instead of going to the bus. Then now he's back over here just, I don't know where I'm going, I'm lost. But as I was saying, so she tells me that, and, you know, she goes into this whole spiel about how her boss, I don't know how I missed it, you know, and, you know, but we can't have you coming over here sleeping and, you know, after hours. And like I said, they were aware. Now, I'm not making it seem as if I don't understand the politics that goes along with, you know, you working a job and you don't own that business, you just work there. And when you talk to your boss about these things and he makes a judicial decision, you have to adhere to that as an employee, whether you're a manager or not. My only thing is this. If this were me, if somebody had come to me and told me that they were being assaulted systematically, and they were being bullied, and these things were happening to them, and it was a woman, it didn't matter to me what color, and it did not matter to me that I was at work. This is a job that you have. It's not a career. It's a job, and you can find a job anywhere. But I would go and look at that footage because I know that they were able to do it. I know they did it when I went in there one day and I said, "Hey, do you guys have cameras out on that patio?" And they said, "Yeah." And they went back on the back in Starbucks and looked at the camera system. And I could just tell it was an easy system to maneuver. Nothing difficult, nothing hard. But I would just go and look for myself as a manager and see if I seen anything unsavory taking place. Once I discovered that it was, I would take that information to that person and say, "Hey, I did see that you were assaulted on this day. Here's how we got to do this." So, because, you know, I'm not the boss, I'm not the owner of this location, what I think the best route for you to do so that you can actually get a hold of this footage and use it is to go ahead and call the police right here and right now, and just act like you're, you know, for the first time telling people that you were assaulted here. Once you do that, I will then go back and I will look at the camera system, and then I will come out and I will confirm in front of you and the police that yes, you were assaulted. That way the police can't lie if you feel like you can't trust the police. But I want you to get justice. This is not right, and it's not going to happen or go down on my watch. That's what I would do. And if something happened where a decision was made for me to be fired, you know what? If I were a white woman and I did that and I ended up getting fired because that's retaliation, you know how much money and fame I would probably get out of that? For advocating for somebody and then on top of that being punished for it. But that wouldn't be my goal, obviously, but that's what would happen. But you see, the problem and the reason why she didn't do that and the reason why people before her hasn't done that is because they don't care about black women. And it's just the sad truth. I'm not a proprietor of racism and that it's something that's systemic and this. And I do understand and recognize the programmed hate, the programmed dissension, and the programmed mindset of being inferior and being superior over people out of ego. And people who want to keep their spot by standing on the backs of somebody else, whether they're black or white or whatever. That's just how people in this world have been programmed. And that's how these horrible crimes and violence has been able to live and breathe, because of that mentality and that attitude. There's no way that somebody could have gone over to that Starbucks and broke in, robbed, did something on that in those parameters, and the footage wouldn't be accessed and used to prosecute whoever did that. But a life, a whole being violated, being tortured, being assaulted repeatedly in your vicinity, and well, what we're going to do is tell her that she can no longer be over here. She can't come over here sleeping, can't be over here in this area after hours. So because that's what she told me. And I'll make a video with the conversation being played, because I want you guys to hear that, number one, I did talk to her about what was happening to me in some pretty decent details, and that's what she's referring to. And these are the results. These are the results. This is how crime and torture and these type of dark behaviors can go on. And it's not like, they're going on and people don't know about it. People know, they just don't care because you're not the right color. And I really want to highlight this because, again, I want people to understand that this is not about necessarily race. From my understanding, I understand very well what this really is about. But I put it into these contexts about color and gender because these are the external things they want you to believe and to think that this is really all about. And these are the external things that those who don't think and use their own head are programmed into focusing on and talking about and using against you. But the higher ups know exactly what they've done and what they've been doing. They understand more deeply what this is really all about. But again, they sell the public this racism. And you have some who are stupid enough and naive enough to follow it blindly. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that in a little bit because I want people to really understand that this kind of stuff happens and goes on more regularly and more often than you think. This complete willingness to ignore and to set you aside as if you mean nothing, as if you're nothing to society. When you are an indigenous woman, when you're a woman, period, you're beyond a third class, fourth class citizen. But when you are an indigenous woman, you are in trouble. You're in trouble.